What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another JB Sports Podcast. Boy, we are fired up today. I'm glad to be here. How about you, Brando?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, we got a little something going on right now, folks. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm sitting on a little different cushion this time around, and it has got me feeling all kinds of ways.
And 6 inches taller.
I'm feeling a little taller than normal, but I'm feeling good.
Fired up.
Yeah, I'm fired up. So, hey, folks, look, welcome back to another JB Sports podcast episode. This is episode 5. We are excited. A lot going on in the world of sports that we're going to talk about. Brando and I also, we've got a couple of YouTube videos that are coming out, I think, really soon. We shot some YouTube stuff over the weekend. Be excited to talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to do a little bit of sports talk, like always. We've got our Pump It and Dump It segment, as always. And if this is your first time here or you forgot from the last time.
I'm pumping it this week. So
no way.
Yeah, I got to pump it. I got to pump it. I'm excited about it.
Here we go. Brando's pumping this week. So Pump It and Dump It, that's our like our buy or sell segment. So if you guys didn't know what Pump It or Dump It is, that's what it is. So that's our buy and sell. I don't think Brandon has pumped anything yet.
Nope.
So this is very exciting.
I'm excited.
Exciting episode. And then we are introducing a new segment as promised. Last episode, we mentioned, just very briefly mentioned that we were going to have a new segment this episode, and we're calling it segment Sports Spotlight. It's a sports spotlight. You know, basically what we wanted to do is we wanted to create just a little something at the end of each episode where we focus on something great in the sports world. It just, with so much going on in the world, and it's easy to get caught up in the, what do you want?
Positivity.
Just a little positivity,
baby. Positivity in your day and in your week and your month, you know.
That's right. So we'll do that at the end of most, if not all of our episodes. There are a lot of really cool things that happen in the sporting world, and we thought it'd be cool if we highlight and focus on some of those things. So Sports Spotlight coming at you this episode. So with that said, Brando's got the bright red on today. he's got the Sunday Tiger going.
I do.
How you feeling, man?
I'm ready. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a little bit sunburnt. Just a little sunburnt. I got a little sun. That a little more than expected. However, other than that, I'm feeling good. I mean, this shirt, just the breeze goes right through. It's a PFG fishing shirt.
Yeah. Very nice.
Luke Combs wears them all the time, so I wear them all the time.
That's your guy.
Yeah. But no, I love these shirts. I have a problem.
Me too.
You catch me on a weekend, I'm in the shirt.
That's a guarantee. Guaranteed.
If I'm at home, if I'm not doing anything where I need to be a little gussied up sort of deal,
right?
This is what I'm wearing.
That's your go-to for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I used to wear those too all the time. I think my problem is they get a little short. Like the ones that I have
don't have that problem.
Okay.
Isn't
that's
that
true.
funny? Maybe that's a benefit of being 5'8". I don't know.
There you go. Yeah. So for me, they're a little bit short, but I love them. You're right. They're very, very comfortable.
Yeah. You can do yard work in that. You can do whatever you want.
Literally anything.
It doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah, you're right. It's a great shirt. I'm not saying it's a bad shirt. Hey, I didn't know if your face was. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know if your face was a little red because of the reflection from your shirt, or if you actually did get a little sunburn. It's looking like sunburn.
I got a little sun, so not too bad. How are you?
Sun
how are you
kissed.
doing?
You're sun kissed.
Yeah, which means I'm red. So
yeah,
I don't sun kiss.
Right.
I don't sun tan. I just get sunburnt.
Yeah, or kissed, sun kissed.
Yeah. So I need to sunscreen it up. So if you're like me,
same.
It's either straight burnt.
Yeah.
Red.
Yep.
Or pale.
Yeah, same. I don't get tan, and I did put a little sunscreen on when we shot that match, but
yeah.
I should have probably reapplied. I got a little crispier than expected to. Thanks for asking. I'm doing good. Feel really good. Like I said, this pillow's got me feeling all sorts of ways.
Feeling high and mighty over there. Jeez.
I'm rolling today. Baseball opening day just happened, so that was cool. You know, again, I think we talked about it a little bit last podcast episode. I don't follow baseball a ton anymore, not nearly as much as I used to, but it's cool. I like seeing obviously the season kick off, and it's it's going to be an interesting season with all the rules changes and stuff. So that was cool. Generally speaking, the family is doing well, which has got me feeling good as well. So yeah, we're doing good, man. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, of course.
So I say we go ahead and we jump into Pump It or Dump It first today. Okay?
Wow. Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pump It or Dump It. Brandon, lead us off, and ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, Brandon's gonna pump something. I don't know what it is. Can't wait to hear this though.
Yeah, no,
This ought to be good.
I'm gonna pump it this week. I was pretty excited. Luke Combs' new album came out last Friday.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm super excited. I've been listening to the album. It's called Getting Old, which is pretty funny. But he sings about growing up and getting old and how life changes and that sort of stuff. But I've listened to the album. It's a good album.
It's really good.
A lot of sweet songs on there. A lot of things that I personally can relate to. He's a new father. He's also having a second kid, by the way. So his wife's pregnant.
Hey, congrats, man.
Yeah, congrats Luke.
Combs family.
That's right. And so it's but it's a really good album. Lots of good lyrics. It sounds good. The music's good. You can listen to the whole thing. And it's really awesome. So I'm gonna pump Luke Combs' album. Him as an artist. Also, I've seen him a bunch of times. Like, he's really good in concert too.
Yeah,
he's a reigning AMC Entertainer of the Year. I mean, not a big deal. Two times over. But it's good. So they say that him and Morgan Wallen are the ones that are like carrying country music today. So and they're both good. But I'm a big Luke Combs fan. I think I really like his songs. His Our First Dance was to one of his songs, and so I'm a big Luke Combs fan. So I'm pumping his new album out. Check it out if you haven't already.
There we
Listen
go.
to some of the songs. They're really, really good. But yeah, there's a few, like Take You With Me is a song that I can really relate to, and You Found Yours. And there's just a bunch of stuff that
Take You With Me
that I really like. Yeah.
So I'm not like a big music guy in general. I mean, I love listening to music.
Sure.
I like having it on, but I certainly don't. I'm not like I don't remember artist names or like who sung what song or like names of songs. But like, if a jam comes on, hey, look, I'll respect the jam.
Yeah.
And this album, interestingly enough, like this is the first new music, because when I listen to music now, it's like pretty much all stuff from, I mean, I don't listen to new music hardly at all. I do listen to some like Luke Combs stuff, new. That's new. But anyways, this album was like the first time I've listened to like new music, like right when it came out. But when he told me to listen to the Take You With Me song, oh man.
Yeah, it's a good song.
It's a great song.
Well, it also helps that you listen to it with your child.
Yeah,
and the meaning comes a little bit, full circle.
For sure.
Yeah, good album. Good dude. Seems like an awesome
dude,
guy,
doesn't he? Seems like an awesome guy.
Catch a beer, have a beer with him. Like,
seems like a good family guy. Like, got his priorities right. Seems like. I mean, I don't know, but
he did a recent podcast on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Did he
got a little bit of like blowback from, I think.
Did he?
Just for being on the pod, not anything he said.
Oh, really?
Just for being on the podcast.
Just for going on it?
Just for going on it.
What's the problem with it?
People don't like Joe Rogan.
What?
Yeah, that's
people soured on him?
On Joe Rogan?
I thought Joe Rogan was like, I thought he was like.
It's political and stuff, but
I see. Okay.
But yeah, so I haven't listened to the full thing. I've listened to a little bit of it, but no, it sounds like a good dude, down to earth, like somebody that you want to hang out with and like chit chat and grab a beer with, and then you can listen to his music. So
and here's the thing, songs. Luke. I mean, we can't keep the offer open for long. Like, it certainly won't be open forever. We just can't.
The golf offer we made last pod,
but I want you to know it is still open. We're any course, North Carolina. You want to go and play in North Carolina? That's easy for you. Then hey, look, we'll make it happen.
July in Charlotte. We're there.
There you go. We'll meet you in Charlotte when you're playing in July. So I'll drive. I'll make the trip for it. So yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, the offer still stands. But all jokes aside, that album is sick. Great pump. Hey.
Thank you.
Great pump.
I figured you'd be excited that I was going positive this week instead of the old negativo.
I was getting ready to. I thought for sure, even though last time you said, "Oh, I'm coming with a pump it. I'm coming with a pump it next week, next episode. I'm coming with a pump it." I thought for sure you were going to stumble in here and just stumble your way into another dump, and I was going to unload on you.
I mean, I can. I got some. I mean, I can.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
I'm sure. No, please don't. Hey, positivity. Okay. You're pumping.
Look, I'm here.
Look how positive you are.
I'm pumping it up. Luke Combs' new album's phenomenal. Everything's going well.
Good.
Everything's great. I hit about. I'm good.
Oh, no,
I'm not gonna talk about shots. We're good. I'm so positive.
Yeah, he's so positive. Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
What's yours?
So
flip it over.
This week,
what are you doing?
I'm dumping.
Are you?
After all the talk. Yeah. After all the talk about pumping it up, I am dumping this week.
Okay.
So the thing with mine is this isn't me being negative, okay? So everyone just calm down. I'm not trying to be negative here. But I think I have something that might be the number one most universally dumped thing by golfers. Okay? There's a hint for you. See if you can guess. What do you think is the number one thing that golfers dump?
Cart path only.
Bing, bang.
Wow.
That is it, dude. I am dumping cart path only days so hard. What a freaking nightmare cart path only. Am I right?
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, I know. Look, golf courses probably hate it because they lose money. I know people don't play. If they find out it's cart path only, I literally know people who won't play if it's cart path only. So golf courses hates it probably because they're losing money. They also hate it because you probably get a bunch of idiots driving on the course anyways, tearing it up.
Wait, you mean you got to tell the story now.
So okay, I'll tell it. So folks, I'll talk just briefly about our. We actually filmed a 2-part YouTube video for you guys. It's really awesome. So the long and the short of it is, Brandon and I, neither of us have ever broken 80 individually playing golf. Like, we've never shot 79 or better. So we thought maybe, just maybe, we could break 80 together in a scramble format. So we're like, okay, scramble format, boom, we can do this, okay? So we filmed a 2-part, 18 holes, 2-part YouTube video. It's 9 holes in part 1, 9 holes in part 2. Make sure you watch both of them because I will tell you this. This is the only thing I'm going to say about the actual outcome of the video on the podcast because I don't want to give anything away. It's a sick 2 videos. But it's not looking good for us after the part 1 video. What I will say is still watch part 1 because there's some craziness that goes down early that makes the second video even better. Okay. So watch both, make sure to watch both videos. With that said, this is what made me think of my dump it. Okay. It was cart path only, which may or may not have contributed to some of our mindset during the video.
Are you going to talk about the group in front of us?
Yes,
and
I'm
how
getting there.
Okay, sorry. I'm so excited to hear this.
I know. So it
My
was
bad.
no. Don't. I'm long. It's okay. It was cart path only, which was an absolute nightmare.
We got some MacGyvers in front of us,
dude. It happened once where in front of us we were like, "Hey, are they out of the way?" And it was like, they look like they're out of the way, but they also kind of look like they're in the middle of the fairway. I can't tell." And we're both like, no, they're surely like they're obviously on the cart path, and you know they're probably not in the way. They're out of the way. And I think both of us, I was thinking this. I'm sure you probably were thinking it, but I was like, is that the back? It looked like their cart was
facing us,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought the same thing. We didn't talk about it, but it was like, it looks like their cart is facing us. And so we didn't talk about it. Wherever time goes, whatever. We play the hole, time goes on. And then a couple times we keep getting yelled at because these carts at this place are the ones that have like the geofencing.
Yeah,
right?
the GPS right on the car.
Geofencing.
It takes you, yeah.
So if it's like on cart path only days, they lock them up. It's like if you drive on the fairway at all, it's like beep, 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 locked up,
Makes
you reverse up out of the thing, right?
Yeah.
So there's one point where I'm a little turned around and I have to back onto the fairway just to back onto where we're supposed to go, but I can't drive in forward. And that's when it clicks. Brandon's like, oh my gosh, dude.
These geniuses in front of us
have been driving the whole course in reverse.
Oh, that was amazing.
They literally drove the whole course in reverse. They were on every fairway.
Yes, every single fairway.
And they were just driving in reverse the entire way. Like these two, there was like a couple older dudes.
Yeah.
Just like it.
Each driving their own cart.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a twosome in front of us, each in their own cart.
That's right.
Just reversing their way through the fairways on a cart path only course.
We were like, what in the heck is going on with these guys? Sure enough, they were reversing down the fairways. So I wouldn't recommend that. I mean,
we didn't do that.
We definitely did not. You will
no.
see. Hey, you'll see that in the videos. Boy, you want proof? We didn't do it.
I walked all over that dang course.
I know. I would have liked to have driven backwards on it. It was a little bit of a nightmare being cart path only and following the rules. But those guys, hey.
Yeah, when you walk to the middle of the fairway from the coast, sometimes the cart paths are far away from the middle of the fairway.
Right.
So,
yeah. We had some long walks to the middle of the fairway.
Yeah.
Real man of genius.
I couldn't believe it. But yeah, cart path only stinks.
It is the worst. So look, I don't know. I think I'm right in saying it might be the most universally disliked thing by golfers.
Is there anything else that you can think of?
Folks, you tell us in the comments. I mean, if there's something, if you're a golfer and there's something it has to be broad, right? It can't be something like
slow play might be one.
Yeah, slow play. That's true.
Like somebody that's checking their line like constantly on the green.
Like that single that played through us.
Yeah.
PGA Pro guy.
Yeah, well,
he was good though. He was nasty.
Yeah, he put one in the middle of the fairway and then back up boogalooed one to about 5 feet away and then 2-putted for par and then said, "See ya,
dude." He measured that putt too. Like he walked his putt out.
Yeah,
took like 3 steps. He's like, "Okay, this is about 10 feet."
Yeah,
missed the putt though, but he took a little longer than we probably take over putts.
Yeah, but I think that's okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's okay.
He found his drive very easily.
I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, so okay, you might be right. Slow play.
Slow play drives me nuts, but Folks, if there was a day that it was cart path only and just group after group and it took 5 hours to play around, I might leave at the turn.
Yeah, you probably would.
It's so bad.
Well, I mean, cart path only in general slows play down.
That's right. That's true.
So if you got a course that
that's good, dump it, by the way. Sorry,
thank you,
but good, dump it.
Yeah, thank you. So put it in the comments, folks. Along, of course, if you're listening to this podcast and not watching it on our YouTube channel, JB Sports YouTube channel, if you're just listening, make sure to also throw a little 5-star review at us. We really appreciate that.
5 stars only.
5 stars only. That's right. Just like we used to say in the car business when we asked customers for surveys, hey, if you're not completely satisfied. Do not answer the survey.
Hey, no finance completely screwed you over.
Right.
But the only person that pays for that is me. So please give them a good review too.
That's right. And that's no joke, folks. When we sold cars, literally, customers would they would get a survey from General Motors afterwards. And it asked about their entire car buying experience. How were the managers? How was the finance department? How was the detailing department? How's the sales? The only person that survey affected, I mean, I'm sure the managers had spiffs or something on it, but
sure.
Salespeople comps, like they could have, the financing person could have been super rude. They could have given 5 stars on everything except for the financing person, and we would have lost money on that survey.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're not here to talk about that. We're both out of the car business for a reason, but anyways, yeah, if you could 5-star this podcast for us, and but seriously, on the comments thing, it would be nice. Let us know, is there anything, if you're a golfer, that you hate more than cart path only days? Slow play could be one of the options. I'll be interested to see what else people come up with here, if there's any themes or if cart path only days are they are the thing. They are the
it was a great dump it.
Yeah, thank you.
Great dump it.
Dumped. So I think with that said, we've talked a little bit about our golf match over on the JB Sports YouTube page. There will be 2 parts. Like I said, watch both of those.
Check that battle out.
Can we break 80 challenge? Okay.
Bing bang.
Bing bang. So from there, let's make the transition over to Sports Talk with Josh and Brandon. This week, this episode, there are some interesting things to talk about in Sports Talk. The first thing, Brandon, that I want to say to you, I haven't said this to you yet.
Oh no,
I haven't told you this. Oh, maybe no, I don't think I have. Hey, folks, if you listened to or watched episode 4 of the JB Sports Pod, we made predictions for who's going to win the Masters. Brandon chose I'm sure the betting favorite, Scotty Scheffler. I chose Ricky Fowler. And if you don't know, the field of the Masters is made up of the top 50 players in the world, plus, you've got past winners and stuff, right? So top 50 players in the world, right? I chose Ricky Fowler to win the Masters. Brandon gave me a really hard time about it. Said, is he even playing? Yada, yada, yada. Hope he makes the cut. All this stuff, right? Turns out Ricky Fowler is currently ranked 59 in the world. And he is not in the field.
He's really not.
He's not in the field.
This might be a stupid question. Is there a cut at the Masters?
Yeah.
There is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a tournament on tour where there is no cut? Everybody that shows up plays through the weekend.
Yeah. So, think about I guess it's like the FedEx Championship. That's interesting, but that's
true.
That's a little bit different, right? I mean, that's not like a traditional tournament format where there's cuts.
I hate asking dumb questions, especially because everybody's listening, but I was really thinking.
Well, that's
I
okay.
was really thinking like
They're going to tear us up in the comments. Thanks a lot, man. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, 50 is not a big field.
No, but there's more. There's more than it's the top 50 players in the world plus.
So Ricky will probably get like a sponsor's exemption or something.
Yeah, I don't know how that.
He's a popular player.
I don't know how that works.
Lots of dollars.
Look, he's been playing well.
I mean, he's the 59th ranked professional golfer in the world.
Right.
Like, you ever like the top? He's in the top 60 in what he does in the entire world.
So they're saying though that even it's not going to be enough for him to contend this week at the Valero. He's going to have to win it. If he wins the Valero, he'll be in. But
wow.
So I am closely monitoring his Valero Open performance because I don't want to change my Masters pick.
I think all my takes last pod were spot on so far.
Oh my gosh!
I'm honest with
folks. Just listen to the JB Sports Pod episode 4. Listen to our episode 4 podcast, and Brandon,
some bold predictions in there that look
absolutely ludicrous.
Like they could be coming true.
Sure. So, anyways, I wanted to start sports talk with that semi apology because he's not in the field yet, but he's going to be.
Okay,
and he's going to win.
I like Ricky.
Yeah,
I like Ricky. Also, somebody that I think would be cool to get a beer with and play some golf and chit chat. To be honest with you,
you know what's crazy to think about? Think about all the guys who are like, whatever ranked. It's the top 125 get their tour card, right? So think about like 126 who doesn't make it, right? Doesn't get his tour card.
Battling to get it.
Yeah, but think about playing a round of golf with them. Whoever that is.
How good they are.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like they would just it would be unbelievable watching them play golf. It'd be like, what?
That's anything too. So last pod I was talking about how bad Pugliarvi stinks. And it's like, and he's legitimately so good at so good at hockey.
He's a very good hockey player.
Like bad professional players are not bad. Like they're really, 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 really good.
Exactly.
But us fans and critics or whomever always
just
talk about bad.
on them.
They're not bad.
Right.
They're really freaking good.
Yeah.
They're just bad in comparison to their peers that they're playing with currently.
That's right.
That's
exactly.
all.
Dude, it's like I never entertained the whole like college football could Georgia beat the Bears, or whatever. Like it's just an asinine question. Like, sure, are there professional teams that stink compared to like the rest of the professional teams? Yeah. Are there professionals who aren't playing well or whatever individually? Yeah. But I'm sorry. I don't care how good the best college team is. They will lose to the worst. I'm not going to entertain it. Not even going to listen to it.
Wow.
So anyways, that was the Valero. We don't have much on the Valero just yet, but I'm confident Ricky's going to pull it out. He's going to pull the W out.
There we go.
Punch his ticket to the Masters and go win that bad boy. So winning back-to-back weeks for Fowler. So for sports talk, let's go NHL first.
Talk NHL?
Yep, because it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Is that because the Minnesota Wild currently lead the Central Division?
It may or may not be.
By, I think, 3 or something points.
We were a little, I was a little bit worried about Colorado last episode.
Did you catch any of that game? They played Colorado recently, and Minnesota put it on them. I mean,
body bagged them.
So it's funny because I was watching. So not to bring it back to the Hurricanes, but I was watching the Canes game one night with my dad, who does he doesn't watch a ton of hockey, and he's like, "Gosh, this team is like basically it's everything we talked about." And then we were watching the Minnesota Colorado game, and he's like, "Shit, this is
hockey,
baby. Look at this game. It's like back and forth. They're physical. They're hitting each other. They're scoring. Like this is wow.
Yeah,
like, what a good game." And then don't worry, the Canes followed it up with a stinker in Detroit where they lost in the last 3 seconds. But
yeah, there we go. Way to go, boys.
But yeah, so the Wild are looking really good, man. Like they're looking really good. They're leading the Central Division right now. Colorado's in second, but and Colorado's a game in hand.
They still have a game
down
in
by
hand.
3.
Yeah.
So
hey,
it's theirs to lose.
They'll hold on. They'll hold on, but then we get it's probably gonna be Boston. But if it were Canes Wild, boy, in the cup.
I'd go to a game.
Just one?
I'm just kidding. I'd go
if
to
it was
all of them
if it was the Kings, would you go to all of them?
Probably.
Would you really?
Probably.
What if it was the Wild?
If you wanted to go to all the games, I would go.
Yeah. It doesn't take much to convince you to go to the game.
No, if you wanted, look.
What if you have to wear a Wild jersey?
I wouldn't go.
Oh, you hear that? By the way, remember last week in last episode I kept asking you what kind of caniac you described yourself as?
Sure.
I was like, what'd you call yourself? Like a something caniac. It was I figured it out. It's full blown. You called yourself a full blown caniac.
Yeah.
Just before bouncing them.
I am. I want them to win the Stanley Cup badly.
Just before you predicted they would get bounced in the first round. Okay, so Wild leading the Central.
Yeah, they're looking good.
Sick.
Yeah, Pacific is a tight race again between the Kings and Vegas and Edmonton.
How do you think that ends up? Prediction. Let's go. Come on.
I think Vegas wins. Yep. I think they win the division.
I think so.
And I think the Kings and Edmonton play again in the first round. I think the Kings beat them.
Really?
Yeah.
Tough matchup for Edmonton. Well, yeah. I guess
Edmonton is the two best players
right.
in the league, probably.
Yeah.
Right. They definitely have the best player in the league, and they probably have the second best player in the league.
Yep.
And then, my God, they could be scary. They could be. Their goaltending is not good again.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
They thought they solved it with Campbell, and right. I don't even think he's starting anymore. I think their backup is now taking over the starting role. And Campbell sitting riding second string, making $5 or something million a year, or $6 million or whatever they paid him. But yeah, he's not looking good. But super nice guy. I don't know if you've watched that. No, I'm serious. I know. I'm serious. I don't know.
It's your go-to though.
If
you like doo-doo on somebody, and you're like, but big body, nice guy.
That's like
guy.
That's like when you're golfing and you hit a putt, and people are like, good speed, and it's like. Yeah, because the read sucked.
Yeah.
Like, thanks. Like, I know.
I missed that by a mile.
I know it's good speed. It ended up 6 feet away from the hole, but at least it was hole high or pin high or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, you're right. It did. Just tell me the read sucked. Don't tell me it's good speed. Just tell me the read stunk.
Hey, nice read.
Yeah, like nice read.
You suck,
idiot. But that is what it is. So, though. Like if you watch that, but he does walk his cat.
Walks his cat.
Jack Campbell walks his cat.
No. On a leash.
On a leash.
Like
full blown goalie, like mode and kind of weird-ish.
That's some of the weird goalie stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I couldn't be a huge fan.
So you think Vegas wins the division?
Yep. I think Vegas wins the division. I think they win their first round matchup. I think the Kings win their first round matchup.
Kings beat Edmonton.
Yep.
Okay.
I think they do. And then I think the Kings and Vegas could meet in the playoffs. And I think John Quick could be starting against his former team. So we'll see.
There is a path to that. There's
a couple different paths to that.
Real paths to that.
Like there's a couple different ones because Vegas isn't the lead by that much, and they're all super close. So who knows? The West is a tight race between like the top 3 teams, and then in the wild card, it's not. But then the East, how good is Boston?
Let's go to the East. But I think, like I said, I think all these talks about us talking about going to watch the Canes play against someone in the Cup, don't matter.
Boston is so entertaining. They had a game last night or 2 nights ago, or I can't remember, against the Columbus Blue Jackets where they won in overtime. They clinched the President's Trophy. There were like 3 fights. There's 3 fights. There's hitting. Like there's bad. Like there's just emotion in those games. Which is what I think why I love hockey so much is because it's so emotional and like physical and just, that
ups and downs, exciting. You know, like you said, the emotion of it all.
I think that's why I love hockey. So you get two bottom teams like Philadelphia and the Senators playing each other too, and multiple fits. I mean, just awesome. Nick Delorier basically fought Austin Watson after a tough hit. That Watson put on one of the Flyers, fought him, got up, tried to fight another guy on the way to the box, right? Like these are 2 teams. Ottawa is like hanging in there a little bit, but more than likely they're not making the playoffs. They're not getting the last wild card spot over the Penguins, and but they're still just going at it. Mm-hmm. By the way, Brady Tkachuk is an absolute horse.
Yeah.
Like an absolute just.
I think you got to be when you're going to challenge an entire team's bench.
Just you got a massive man that is not afraid of anybody, can score, fight, hit, lead. Ottawa's going to be really, really good, I think, in 2 years.
Think so?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I do.
He's that guy.
He's that guy. Like he's that captain that you're like, oh,
This dude is real.
Here we go. Like
Yeah.
you need somebody that's gonna like get everybody going. He'll get everybody going.
Right.
You need somebody to finish off a play and put the puck in the net. He'll put
He'll
the puck
do
in
it.
the net. You want somebody to run somebody through the boards. He'll do it.
We're chasing.
Like, it's awesome. And then they got a bunch of like perimeter score. I mean, and that team's going to be really good.
Think so? Okay.
Yes, I think that team's going to be really good. If I'm placing futures bets next year,
Hey.
I'm betting on them and the year after.
Talk to RA.
Like, yeah,
RA.
I think, but I think I really do. And they're like fun to watch because they're a little bit dirty too, and they're cool. They're a cool team. They're not there yet, but they should be. And then, so Boston's going to obviously win that division.
Oh, hang on a second before.
Yeah.
Actually,
No,
you go ahead.
I was going to say Tampa Bay and Toronto as a first round matchup. Oh my gosh, rematch.
That's going to be sick.
I think it's going to be. They both added a bunch of like grit and nastiness to it. The trade deadline. Again, Tampa does it every single year.
Do you think that's just a grind it out series? You think they just
I think they
bang on each other?
Yes.
Like,
yeah, I think whoever makes it to the second round is going to be hurting.
Yeah.
They're going to be a hurting unit. You know what's funny to me? Tampa Bay has made it to 3 straight Stanley Cup finals.
Yeah.
They do the same exact thing at every single trade they do the same exact thing now at every single trade deadline, which they didn't do prior, and they did not have the success they have now. Right?
Toughen up.
So they do the same exact thing 3 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't the other teams just follow suit? Like,
Right.
They gave up so much. They gave up so much draft capital for Tanner Jeannot.
Mm-hmm.
So much. Who cares? Why does it matter that you don't have 5 picks in the draft? Okay.
Right.
Who cares?
How's the draft usually work out?
Right. Is any one of them going to be as good?
Right.
Or play in a prominent role on your team?
But I think that's the strategy, dude. I mean, what you're talking about right now is it's a philosophical way of managing a team.
Right.
I think there are teams who would love to have all those picks. And there are other teams who, like you said, I'd rather have somebody I know what I'm getting.
I'm a big fan of one of those teams that does the exact opposite.
That's right. Exactly.
And I wish they didn't.
But that's my point. It's like, yeah. I mean, I guess the point you're trying to make is that Tampa has had success doing it that way.
Sure. Yeah. And if somebody that I know is really good at doing something,
right,
and they consistently have success year over year over year over year, I'm probably going to ask them what the heck they're doing and try and copy it.
Yeah, right. I get it. No, yeah, I'm with you. That
right?
Makes perfect sense.
Like, wouldn't you? I mean,
for sure.
We're both in sales.
Yeah.
Right? We're both in sales. That's what we do for our careers. If somebody's doing something really well, I want to know exactly what it is, so that way I can make it my own, fine tune it, and hopefully do it a little bit better.
That's
than
right.
They are.
Exactly.
Like that's what I want to do. So that's what I would do as a leader of an NHL team. Is I'd look to those people who are doing it really well, and I would hedge my bets and try and make sure that team can be set up for success that year. However, what the Canes are really good at is sustained success.
But
in the regular season.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
In the regular season. So we can switch over to Metro.
Who cares? No. Yeah. Let's talk Metro, yeah.
So we can switch over, but so
first of all, who cares about the regular season? Like, that's fine. Great. Good job.
I did 4 years ago.
Why?
So this is the interesting
what
part,
do you mean?
Right? 4 years ago the Canes hadn't made the playoffs in 9 years. So what did I care about? I care about the regular season.
Yeah, interesting. Oh, this
right?
Okay,
like
interesting.
I wanted to get into the playoffs.
Interesting take there.
So I cared about it. Yeah. I wanted them to do well. I wanted, like, that mattered.
Yeah, that's
right?
true. What an evolution that is.
Now guess what?
Dude, that's crazy.
It doesn't matter.
You're blowing my mind with that right now. Dude, that's crazy. I didn't even think about that. It makes perfect sense. Yeah, we're saying who cares about the regular season? That's something that a fan of a team who is definitely going to make the playoffs says.
Right.
You're right, dude.
That was not us for 9 straight years.
That's
they were in
crazy.
the bottom. Like, for 9 years, it was like, man, I wish we had a good team. I wish we could make the playoffs. Right. I can't wait. It's so loud in here. Like game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals was so awesome. It was so packed. It was so loud. Like, the crowd's nuts. I can't wait for that to happen here. Now that it's happened and it happens consistently, and we have a really good team.
Dang, man.
Right?
You're right.
Now you're right. The regular season doesn't matter until we don't make the playoffs again, and then the regular season matters. But
sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
But the Canes are going to get bounced in the first round.
You're on it hard.
Yeah.
That was your prediction last week, and
oh my gosh, they get
who are they going to get?
They're probably going to get the Islanders.
Okay.
They'll probably get the Islanders.
Not the Rangers, not New Jersey.
Oh my gosh. Well, it depends. They're only 1 point up in the Metro Division lead now. So they could get the Devils,
Yep.
the Rangers,
Yep.
or the Islanders.
But you think most likely Islanders?
I think so. I think they continue to. I think they just went through a really tough stretch.
Yep.
So what's interesting is they showed a graphic on ESPN the other night where they were talking about the Hurricanes' record against the top teams in the division, right? The playoff teams.
Mm-hmm.
So think your Tampas, your
Right.
Rangers, your Bostons in the Eastern Conference.
Right.
They're 7-8-2 against those 5 teams this year. They're 22-2 against the other teams in the Eastern Conference.
Well, at least they're winning the games they're supposed to win.
They feast on it. So what's funny though, and why the national media on the Canes all the time, which is
True.
another topic.
That's true. That is true.
But it's so weird. So I'm thinking to myself, I wonder what the other teams' record are against these teams.
Yeah, right.
You know, like
right.
Is it just a Canes thing? Or does everybody in the top 5 of the Eastern Conference just absolutely crush? I didn't have to. Corey Lavalette from The Athletic did.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because he was wondering the same thing. So
That's
he
a good
looked
thought.
it up. Every team is right around where the Canes are at.
Yeah,
maybe
of course.
one game over 500, one game under 500, right around, except the Bruins, who beat everybody.
Yeah, right.
But every other team is the same exact boat.
Right.
So it's like you can't. That was the concern for the Hurricanes, is that they play like this against the top team, and it's like no.
Yeah.
Every other team besides the Bruins does the same exact.
That's why
thing.
they're all good teams.
Does like the same exact thing.
Yeah, of course, dude. Of course, that makes perfect sense.
But it was funny because I'm like, you can't say that without going into the other teams,
right?
Because it's the same exact thing unless you're the Boston Bruins.
Exactly.
So, but yeah.
Stats, man.
So
it's so funny that
So I do. I think they get beat. Teravainen was out when they played Detroit. Puljujarvi was back in, of course, and they lost in the final 3 seconds. I like Freddie Anderson played well,
mm-hmm.
which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Great, stopped some pucks when he wasn't supposed to, and whatever. But the offense dries up this time of year every single time for the Hurricanes. They get soft. They're small. It's just not built for a playoff run like they want to be. But
so, first round, you've got it.
I think they get. It's either first or second round. I don't think they're going to the finals. The Eastern Conference Finals.
I had them bounce in the second round. That's what I've been saying all along.
You think they beat the Islanders, the Rangers, or New Jersey?
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think they probably
any 3 of those.
Any of the 3.
So then why do they bounce in the second round?
Good. That's a good question.
So you actually have them going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
No.
You got them playing the Bruins in the Eastern Conference Finals?
No, I just think that that's a good point. I guess I think they could beat any of the 3 of those teams. You'd probably rather have the Islanders, right, in the first round.
Yes.
But I don't know. I think after they win, I don't know why I have them losing to one of those teams in the second round, but not in the first.
Because they're probably going to get banged up in the first round. Then you're going to have somebody go out like a Teravainen, who actually coincidentally led them in playoff scoring last year.
I think if the first, I have them. I think they could beat any of the 3 of those teams in the first round. But I just my whole stance on the way the team is built. It's actually similar to yours. We kind of think the same way.
Yeah.
And I think they'd run out of gas. And it goes back to, for me, I think that they might be able to outrun one of these teams in the first round.
Yeah.
And then run out of gas and can't do it in the second round.
I think best case scenario for them is the Islanders stumble a little bit. Pittsburgh overtakes them.
Oh, wow.
And they play Pittsburgh in the
Isn't
first
that
round.
Crazy? Think about that for a sec.
Which I think is best case scenario.
You just
for
hope
them.
to see Crosby in the first round of the playoffs.
Florida's
mm-hmm.
hanging around. We don't the wild card race in the East is super tight.
Yep.
The wild card race in the West is not. Right. You got Seattle has 90 points and then Winnipeg has 85.
Mm-hmm.
That's not as close. And then Calgary has 83. So it's just an interesting time to be an NHL fan.
What do we got for games left? 7, 6, 5,
depending on the team. Yeah.
But that's where we are, right? Like
small
5 to 7, right?
Amount. Yeah, 9 maybe. Yeah, depending.
Yeah. So you're not going to see big
unless they play each other.
Yeah, Right.
So who knows?
It's crazy, man. It's exciting. I mean, at this point, it's like sick of talking about it. Like I'm ready to see some playoff hockey.
Yeah, I'll be in the building.
We got to get some
waving the towel.
Will you?
Ready to go.
You think you'll go to a bunch of them, or?
I don't, maybe.
Like realistically,
I'll probably go to. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go to one round.
Yeah,
and then I'll probably go to more.
Well, when you're not
if we're able,
when you're not at the game, we'll watch them.
Yeah,
and then we'll report back to you folks. We'll talk about how good
I can't wait
good
for playoffs.
Billy Harvey looks in the playoffs, and
he's
what a godsend.
Just 6'4", 205, running people over like a truck, scoring like crazy.
Yep,
doing his best Jamie Benn impression.
So here was my question for you.
Yeah,
all roads lead to Boston in the East, right?
I think so.
How do you beat them? Like, what's the?
I don't think you do.
I think that right. I think that's the answer.
I think Boston looked at their team and they said, "This is the year.
Just like
we're going for it. Like we're gonna put all our eggs in this basket." Which is, if this is the year, right? Because you got like, all those guys, Bergeron, Marchand, Krejci, like they're all getting older. And if they would have gotten Lucic at the trade deadline, got the band back together, that would have been so phenomenal.
Yeah.
But they, I think all roads go through Boston, and I think Boston is just so good, and they're getting really good goaltending, and it's just top to bottom. That's a good team, and they play well. And it's just,
dude, they've just got something about, we might have even talked about this on one of the other episodes. Like, it does not matter how you want to play.
Right.
They will play you that way.
And better than
you. Exactly. Like, Canes won't outrun them. Sure as hell won't beat them physically. You get someone like Toronto or Tampa who wants to get in there and get a little dirty. Okay.
Yeah.
They don't have a chance. Like, you know what I mean? I literally don't know how you would. It's crazy to think about because we're talking about all these other races that are so close and all these other teams that are so close, and this team could beat that team. And I mean, the Hurricanes are number 2 in the league. They're the second best team in the league, and I have zero belief, 0.0 that they could beat the Bruins.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
In a playoff series?
No way. In a series, yeah. Best of 7 series, there's no chance. They'll beat them. Sure. I think the Canes can take a game or two off them. I don't think, it's 6. I don't think you're playing.
I think Tampa's the only team that can be close, and that's because of Vasilevsky.
You think so?
I don't think any other team.
You know what?
I don't think any other team has a goalie like that.
Yeah.
Where they can just count on him and they can play their game and whatever. I think Tampa's probably the only team that might be able to take them.
See, I said this in the last episode of the pod here. I was saying that you just got to get in. Remember when I was saying just get in, get in. Anything can happen in the playoffs. And the joke was, well, except for with Boston, but there is that is the element. Think about that run with Quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Kings, like, were the 8th seed. Right?
And ran through the entire Western Conference.
And Quick was just like, dude, it was one of those things. I remember that. It was like, people just, like, you knew that it was going to be next to impossible to score on Quick. And he just had it. Like, play breaks down, bad turnover in the zone.
Doesn't matter.
Don't worry. Quick's there. Like, he's going to make the save. Like, you go from holding your breath to expecting those saves to be made. Yeah. So that is maybe, just maybe, because here's the thing, dude. You talk about like Boston injury. Even if someone, like one of their guys, gets injured, you know what I mean?
The other one's playing just like that.
I think exactly. Like, they're okay. I think the only way you beat them is, and maybe you don't, but it is, like you said, maybe goaltending. Some goalie just gets freaking white hot and just stands on his head, and they can't score.
Well, that's what they're saying about Igor for the Rangers and Sorokin for the Islanders have the potential to do that too.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like if somebody's coming out of the East, they're going to challenge Boston. Their goalie needs to be Vasilevsky, Shesterkin, or Sorokin.
Yeah, those guys. That's right. Those are the 3. Did you hear them talking about that the other night on TNT? Did you watch the broadcast? Yeah. Yeah. By the way, that was funny. That was a funny segment. Yeah. So I think that's it. I think that's the only way you beat Boston is going to be crazy goaltending. Anything else in the NHL you want to talk about? I mean,
No, I think we're good. We might I think we crushed that one.
Yeah. Let's dive into the NFL.
Oh.
This is going to be a highly debated segment, or part of this segment. This is still sports talk. Folks, this is the part of our comment, which, by the way, of course, comment anytime about anything we talk about. Let us know if you have a different opinion or what you think or whatever. But this...
Like when the Canes win the cup, you can call me stupid.
Yeah, that's true.
I call myself stupid.
Yeah. But you'll be happy if that happens.
Yeah, so I spray myself in the face with a Budweiser.
Bud heavy.
Bud heavy.
Wearing his PFG, Columbia PFG shirt.
Actually, Storm Brew. Sorry.
Storm Brew. Thank you.
Here we go.
No free ads. So, folks, we are going to debate something right now, and Brandon and I have our opinions, but I'm interested to see, because we also have our biases.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what your guys' opinions are. So let us know what you guys think. Try to be as unbiased as you can when you share your opinions with us. I understand asking fans to share unbiased opinions is a bit of a joke, but do what you can. Let us know what you think about this. So we're going over to the NFL, and what we're going to talk about is season win-loss records for betting odds have come out for the NFL for this season. Okay, so it's the 2023 win projections.
Yeah,
and this is based on this is Caesars from Caesars Sportsbook. Okay, oh. So let's start with the NFC. I thank you.
Yeah.
So who did you? I don't know if you already looked at this or whatever, but do you remember, or if you haven't looked, do you know who they have projected to lead the NFC in wins?
I don't. I only remember that they had the Packers being last in their division.
Yes. Yeah, that was a different. Yes, we're going to talk about the NFC North specifically in a second, which was crazy to me.
Who do they have leading?
The Niners. Okay.
Okay.
So not terribly out there. This is what surprised me. Well, it wasn't super surprising, but it's 11.5. Okay. So okay. The over under for wins for the Niners is 11.5. Then it's Eagles 10.5.
Mm-hmm.
You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Then the Saints.
Wow.
9.5 wins. But see, I think that's because of they're
going to watch Carr sling it.
I think it's a division thing, dude. I think it's because the division's garbage.
Yeah, and they play each other the most. Sure,
that's right.
So they think they're going to run away with the division.
I think that has to be, because if I look at the rest of their division, no, Panthers 7.5, no, Falcons 7.5, and Bucks. I think Bucks, right?
Yeah,
6.5. Yeah, so that's why they've got Saints. I was surprised. I was like, Saints 9.5 wins. Okay.
Wonder if they're counting 6 from the division. If they think they're going to sweep the division and go like 6 for 6.
Yeah, maybe. So then it's Cowboys 9.5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Again, I think probably another. Well, they've got that division a little tighter. Giants are 8.5. Washington 7.5. Okay, then here comes the one that gets me to my boiling point. Okay.
Yeah.
5th in the NFC. 1, 2, 3. 5th.
It's not bad.
In the NFC.
First in their division, right?
First in their division, ladies and gentlemen, the Detroit Lions.
The Detroit
Football Lions.
Motor City Lions.
Motor City. Dan Campbell is going to bring the boys an NFC North championship this year.
I can't wait
according to the Caesars Sportsbook. They can lick my...
Can't you wait to see it? Yeah. Isn't that such a good story, though?
Shut up, dude. That is such... You're telling me. Now, they've got their over-under set at 9, and they got the Vikings over and under set at 8.5. So it's probably a little bit like a coin flip for the division.
Sure.
So you would think, right? Oh, if that's the case, maybe, just maybe, then the odds for who's going to win the division would be pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
I said coin flip for the division, right? Over under for Detroit set at 9. Over under wins for the Vikings 8.5.
Yeah.
Detroit is plus 155 to win the division, dude. Plus 155. The Vikings are plus 300 to win the division. That is bull. This is a joke, dude.
So we taking a trip? We can take a trip.
Might have to take a trip and catch a game. Watch the boys.
Just take a quick one.
So here's the thing. The whole story behind the NFC North was that the Packers have the worst odds to win the NFC North title. And let's see. Green Bay has finished last in the division just once since 1990. 1990, dude. That's 33 years.
A lot of sustained success there.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Right now, they are they're plus 380 to win the division. Even the freaking Bears are plus 320 to win the division. The Bears are currently have better betting odds to win the NFC North than the Green Bay Packers do. All because of the departure of Aaron Rodgers, I guess. But anyways, dude, Motor City Dan Campbell, I guess the boys got to be fired up.
There you go.
So, what do you think here about these NFC win-loss projections here? The Caesars Sportsbook win-loss projections. Is there anything that stood out to you as really surprising outside of what I've talked about? I mean, I think the Lions. You get Lions 9, Seahawks 8.5, Giants 8.5, Vikings 8.5, and then it's Washington football team 7.5. Sorry, I know they're not the football team anymore. I was just trying to make a joke. They're 7.5, Rams 7.5, Packers 7.5, Bears 7.5, Panthers 7.5, Falcons 7.5. So,
Falcons at 7.5 seems a little bit for the Falcons to be at 7.5, along with. Think about this, how bad the Falcons were last year.
Okay. You think it's high? 7.5 high?
They're the same as the Bears, the Packers, the Rams, and the Commanders.
Right. See, I don't know what the Bears are apparently on the come up too, because the Bears were doo-doo brown.
Oh, they think.
I know they've retooled and such, but
then now they have a number 1 receiver, or number 1A or 1B, whatever, or 2A, whatever you want to say. But they got somebody else in the receiver room that could be good.
I'm gonna tell you what, dude.
Got a first-round draft pick that's gonna be high.
Fields ain't it, dog.
I think there's a lot of people that think he is.
I know. This is that's an unpopular opinion. I know that me saying Fields ain't it is unpopular. I think a lot of people think pretty highly of him. I'm telling you, I said the same thing about Cam Newton. All the Panthers fans, friends and family that I know that are Panthers fans.
You mean MVP
yes,
Cam Newton?
That's right. You mean the one year that he won the MVP?
Yeah.
Okay. He was good 1 year. He's not.
You think he's only good 1 year?
Here's my take on Cam Newton.
I'm not a Cam Newton defender either. But
here's my take on Cam Newton.
Oh boy. Okay.
Get ready, folks. And again, maybe this is my episode for hot takes.
Sounds like it.
Here's my take on Cam Newton. I think Cam Newton should have been or could have been a Hall of Famer if he played the right position.
Oh
boy. Jeez. Here we go. Now it's hot take. Here's what I'll say about
Yikes.
Listen to me. Hear me out on this. Cam Newton might be one of the most athletic, physically gifted people that we've seen in the NFL. I mean, he was a phenomenal athlete. When he ran the ball, he was impossible to take down. So what? I'm being serious. Like, he is a unbelievable athlete.
Sure.
His throwing mechanics suck, dude. They were not good. Like, the amount of times that he threw off his back foot, which ultimately led to turnovers or overthrowing receivers or just missing. Look, I'm not saying I'm better or anything. Like, this goes back to, again, talking about we're talking about people who are like the best out of the best.
Yeah.
But the point, and I know he won the MVP. I know the Panthers went to Super Bowl. I get all that, right? My point is with Cam Newton, first of all, I think he could have been a Hall of Famer at a different position, like legitimately, because I think that's how good of an athlete he is. I don't know if he has hands or what, but if he was a tight end or... Dude, can you imagine Cam Newton playing freaking running back? Think about how good he runs. You don't like this take.
No, I don't think Cam Newton was a great quarterback.
No, he was not, dude. He's not a good quarterback. He was best. Even the year he won the MVP, right? We know he won the MVP. Great. He was good. Dude, he
had 35 touchdowns, 10 picks.
Yeah. Okay. You look up his career stats.
194 touchdowns, 123 picks.
Okay. Is that good? It's not very good. What's his career QBR? So Cam Newton,
85
career QBR. Now, if you look up his rushing stats, they're probably pretty good. I'm telling you, dude. And I know I've gotten, look, I've told people this. A lot of people I've given this take, and I know it's an unpopular opinion, and I just can't get my head around the fact that I'm wrong on this. But that's how I feel about him. I never liked watching him throw the ball. I thought there was probably a 2 or 3 year window where his throwing the ball was better than, the rest of his career. But generally speaking, I think he's just.
So let's get your take on this.
He's not it.
Do you think that running quarterbacks, QBs that run the ball a lot, that might not have the greatest throwing mechanics, do you think that they can develop those? Like, is there somebody in mind that you think was a running quarterback that developed a much better arm? Like, I think Josh Allen is a quarterback that could run.
He does both.
Right, but I also think that he's developed, like his throwing mechanics have gotten significantly better.
Cam Newton's gotten worse.
The Miami Dolphins consistently count on him making Josh Allen decisions at least twice a year, but
right.
But I think that his mechanics and the way he throws the ball has gotten better, and he still has the ability to run. And he's a house. So
here's the thing. Here's what I'll say about that. I would say that there are a lot of quarterbacks that have a variety of different throwing motions, and our mechanics are one thing, right? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it comes down to decision making and how this is the NFL, right? You can't, the windows that these guys have are tiny. And I'm sorry, but if you're just a little bit off, that's not good enough. And Cam Newton was more than a little bit off.
And he just wasn't good enough.
And he just was not good enough.
Okay, that's the hot take.
And
Let
that's
us know
my
what
take.
You guys think in the comments.
Gosh, man,
Let us know.
I'll
let Josh know.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Everybody let me know what you think. And look, extremely athletic. Definitely
amazing athlete.
Yeah.
And amazing athlete.
And I'm not saying he wasn't one of the best quarterbacks one of the top 32 quarterbacks, in the game.
Wow.
Maybe he deserved a starting role.
Uh-oh.
But I just don't think he's all that. That was my stance on Cam.
Interesting that Lamar Jackson still isn't signed. I still think he's sitting out, by the way.
Here we go. Yeah, so back to Lamar Jackson. Interesting. He was defending himself. People coming at him about being injured or not playing in the playoffs because he was injured. And he was basically like, it's like, yeah, I figured you guys would want me here for the rest of my career with a healthy PCL rather than trying to push it just to come back to the playoffs this 1 year. And I think that really soured him. All this stuff's coming out, dude. All this stuff's coming out.
They're airing
the
dirty laundry
yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Well, it was surprising when it came out like 3 weeks later that he had asked for a trade on March 2nd before they even tagged him. Mm-hmm. Now all this stuff's coming out. It's crazy, man. Lamar,
he does not want to play in Baltimore.
That's what it's seeming like, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Lamar's a good example of, like, I think Lamar's mechanics. I think Lamar's mechanics are better than Cam Newton's, but what do I know? I'm not.
I think Lamar can throw the ball.
He can.
He
really can.
I think he's a better runner than Cam Newton. I
Right.
think he gets out of trouble a lot faster than Cam Newton, even though Cam Newton didn't get injured running, which is funny
because he's a house dude.
But lots of people think like, oh, these quarterbacks are going to get injured running, and also it's like, well, okay, I get it, but two things. I don't think whatever he wasn't injured running. He was actually injured throwing in the pocket, which is
ironic.
Ironic. But I think I'm telling you what. I know that I was talking about how I don't think Lamar is going to play this year. I think Lamar is a great quarterback and a great player.
For sure.
And I would, and I know you always give me talking about taking people on the Dolphins. I would
absolutely
love to have him as the Dolphins quarterback.
Absolutely.
So,
all right, we got to talk about, speaking of the Dolphins, we got to talk about the AFC.
Yep.
So projected wins also for the AFC came out as well.
What are the Ravens' projected wins?
That was one I was going to talk about because I imagine this was very hard for them to figure out.
Yeah.
Not knowing who. Oh, speaking of Ravens, did you see the news about the quarter? They very clearly didn't think they were going to be with Lamar Jackson this year.
Really?
You didn't hear about this?
No.
Apparently they had reached out to Baker Mayfield.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Before who signed him? No, not the Patriots. Who signed Baker? Somebody signed Baker Mayfield. Brutal. I talked about it a couple episodes ago. Now I can't remember.
Who did sign him?
We'll find it. But yeah, so I think the Ravens,
the Bucks.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think he can. I think he's like, it's like $3 or $4 million. He can make up to $8 million with incentives and stuff. But
how happy are the Browns? Oh, never mind.
All right, AFC win projections according to Caesars Sportsbook. The Ravens 8.5.
Wow
is right. So I think
rookie quarterback.
I think Caesars doesn't think Lamar's playing for the Ravens either.
Yeah, I think that's high.
You think that's high?
Without
Lamar.
Yeah.
Without Lamar, it's high.
Yes, I think it's high without Lamar. I would take the under on that if Jackson is not playing.
Yeah. Okay. Number one team in the NFC based on these Caesars Sportsbook projections. Over/under set tie atop the Chiefs and the Bengals, of course. 11
makes sense.
11.5. Yeah, makes sense. 11.5 wins. Next comes the Bills at 10.5.
Makes sense.
They get the Chargers back up there. Chargers are just like a disappointment over and over. Have you seen Austin Eckler's workout videos? That dude is unreal.
Is he?
Oh, do yourself a favor.
Check him out.
Google that after this is over. I'm serious. Look that up, dude. Austin
so he's
Eckler,
not going to be. He asked for a trade.
He's a beast.
He doesn't want to be there either.
Well,
unless they pay him.
That's because he's insane. Look at the way this dude works. I'm a Herbert fan, Justin Herbert fan, by the way. I think he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, me too. I think
Chargers just disappoint over and over and over again.
A lot of the talk about is their head coach Brandon Staley.
Yeah. So right. So Chargers 9.5. Next up,
here we go. Say it. Go ahead.
Jaguars. The Jags.
Wow.
Well, you didn't like it?
Wow.
You didn't like it? The Jags 9.5.
Not even the best team in Florida. So
yeah. But
it's weird.
Here comes the Miami football Dolphins.
Miami football Dolphins, everybody.
9.5
Tua staying healthy this year. They're going over 12.
Taking the AFC.
Watch it.
All right.
Just watch. Hey, don't believe me. Just watch. Do the dolphin. Do a dolphin now. Jeez.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Okay. 9.5 enough. No more sound effects. 9.5 for the Dolphins. 9.5 for the Jets. So they've got. That was so brutal. So that's
they're obviously playing on Aaron Rodgers coming to town.
Right. And then we got the Browns 8.5, Broncos 8.5, Steelers 8.5. Do you know? Do me a favor. Look up while I go through the rest of this list. Yeah. Look up the Steelers' record last year.
Weren't they 9-8?
Did they make 9-8?
I think they did because Tomlin still hasn't had a losing season.
That's what I was going to say. I was keeping an eye on that throughout the season. I thought it was crazy when I first heard that Tomlin's never had a losing season. I was like, what? And then the Steelers were not looking good.
9-8.
They did it. Good. That's fantastic. I think Tomlin seems awesome. You always hear good stuff about guys who played for him. And
do you watch him he's always, so it's interesting. He's always got a really good story of like prior to camp. Like on the way in, he broke up a fight last year and invited all the people involved in the fight to a Steelers practice.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it's so cool.
Yeah. So Steelers 8.5, Patriots 7.5. Ugh. Did you see Belichick's comments? People were asking him about like, why should we be optimistic about the season, basically?
He basically said, check the stats.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He's like, I don't know.
I would too, especially if I had nothing in the cupboard.
Exactly. Nothing in the cupboard.
Did you like that lasagna I made 2 weeks ago? You know I can cook. Sure.
Wow.
I do like that lasagna, actually.
Good, it was good lasagna. That was
lasagna.
25 years.
But that was
of dominance. But
old now.
That's right.
You don't have the same ingredients. I know with lasagna you need cheese, right? Well, you got no cheese. So how are you going to make lasagna? It's weird.
Yeah, Tommy Cheese. So we get the Titans 7.5, Raiders 7.5, Colts 6.5, and rounding out the AFC 5.5, Texans.
So when Lamar Jackson, you might want to bet that now because when Lamar Jackson goes to the Colts, that'll go way.
They're getting more than 6.5 wins if Lamar goes to the Colts.
Yes,
and that's true. Did you see the Reggie Wayne too? He was like,
no.
He's like everyone's hitting me up on social media telling me I got to tell Lamar Jackson to go here. He's like, what do you think I can do? He's like, I got no say in this. He's like, I can hardly get my kids to do what I say, like, let alone an organization.
Yeah.
Like,
let me just, who did they hire as their coach?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Frank Reich?
No, Frank Reich is the Panthers coach now.
Panthers coach now, yeah. Good. So the Colts.
But if the Colts can sign him, or trade him.
Here it is.
Sign him. Well, sign and trade really is what you're looking at. But that'll go way over 6.5.
Reggie Wayne, will you all stop adding me to tell the Colts to get Lamar? I have no way of making your wish come true. Hell, I'm still trying to get my kids to listen to me, let alone an organization.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah, that's good. All right, good. So I don't know. I think we've hit the big things that I wanted to talk about in the NFL for today. Anyways, we'll be back at it again with another episode, so we can talk more about it. But
well, what do you think? So
about what?
Let's take it back to the favorites. The Miami Dolphins.
Oh yeah,
do you think they're over or under that 8.5 mark? Wait, is it 8.5?
Mm-hmm.
A 500 team?
Yeah. See, but that's the thing about these over-unders. They're all like that, man.
Oh, dude.
Like 11.5. 11.5 wins is the highest in the AFC and the NFC. Like, that's not a lot of...
I think the Kansas City's over 11.5. I think Kansas City hits 12 wins. I think the Bengals get 12 wins. I think the Bills get 11. I think the Chargers...
So you think those are all overs?
I do.
So you're taking overs on all the top...
Pretty much, yeah.
And AFC guys.
Yeah.
So you think the AFC is going to win their NFC games?
I do.
So you got Chiefs over 11.5. Bengals over 11.5.
Yep.
Bills over 10.5.
Yep.
Chargers.
That's the one I'd be a little leery of.
I'm taking the under on Chargers 9.5.
I'm taking the under on the Jaguars too.
Are you?
I'm taking the over on the Dolphins.
Of course you are.
Best team in the state of Florida.
Hey, do you actually think they're going to win 10 games?
I do.
I think so too. If Tua is healthy, which again, I'm not even a big Tua guy. I don't think he's that good. But
throw Mike White in there. Watch him spin.
He's gone, dude.
The Dolphins signed him.
Oh, the Dolphins signed him. Yeah,
He's their quarterback.
Yeah, right.
Whoa. Sorry.
Left the Jets.
He's their second string quarterback.
No, he's their starter.
Sorry. He's their second string because Tua's going to stay healthy. Tua's taking jiu-jitsu. He's learning how to fall, okay? He's going to break 24 years of habit.
Sure.
This offseason.
One offseason.
This offseason to avoid the concussions. On a separate note, I do think if he gets one more, he's done. Like I think he's
got to be, right?
I think he'll retire.
So Mike White leads the boys to 10 wins. And then Aaron Rodgers, 9.5 for the Jets, over under. 9.5 for the Jets with Aaron Rodgers. 9.5. Jets.
Let it go. No, I think it's over.
Over.
Yeah. With Aaron Rodgers?
All right, I'm under.
With Aaron Rodgers?
Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am. Ravens, 8.5.
I think they're under.
Without Lamar.
I think they're under.
Over with Lamar. Okay, so that's the season predictions for win predictions. Hey, we didn't go through the NFC in the same way. Let's just do that very quickly. Niners, 11.5.
Gosh, I am just not. I
don't know, man.
I'm not a Niners believer. Like it doesn't. Same. It's not like, but they do it every year.
That's right. I know it. I'm the same way. I'm not a believer, but they just keep doing it.
Damn, you know what? I'm going over because that lasagna 2 weeks ago was delicious.
Okay, he's believing in the past success.
Yeah, just not Belichick's.
Eagles 10.5.
Over.
I think so too. I am for the Niners. I didn't give mine. Niners 11.5. I will. Gosh, I just see my gut's telling me under. I'm going with my gut. Niners are under. Eagles are over 10.5. Saints 9.5.
Under.
Yeah, I think they probably win a lot of the division games, but.
Oh, that's true. Actually, I think they're over.
You think over 9.5? You think they're going to win 10 games?
Yeah. I think they're going to win every single division game, and then 4 more.
So you think they get 6 in the division and 4 more?
4 more out of the 11 others that they play.
Give me the under in the Saints.
Wow.
What about Cowboys? 9.5.
Under.
Cowboys under 9.5.
Yeah, I don't think the Cowboys are going to be good.
No. I'm over.
Over. I'm over.
All right, I'm over. I'm over on the Cowboys.
Not by a lot.
Actually, yeah, that's tough. Give me the the Cowboys is tough. I said over, so trust my gut on that. Lions 9.
Over.
I'm taking the under. You're such a.
I think the Lions are winning their division.
Are you serious?
I do.
You really think they're going to win?
I am.
They're going to beat the Vikings?
I think so.
Am I being a homer? Folks, come on. Look, anyone who doesn't have a horse in the NFC North race,
I don't have one.
Okay, well, sort of.
I would root for your team because it'd be better for me. I want you to be happy.
Sure. Yeah, no, thanks.
I do.
I
However,
appreciate that.
I think it's going to be a tight race between those two teams.
Sure. Yep.
But I think Detroit's got something special cooking.
Okay, good. Put me down for the under for the Lions, under 9. Seattle Seahawks, 8.5.
I think Geno's going to go back to
I'm over
Geno.
on him too.
I think he's done.
Oh, you think he's done?
I think he's done.
So you got the under 8.5 for Seahawks. I got the over for 8.5 Seahawks.
I think Geno Smith is going to come back to like when he was a starter for the Jets.
Oh boy!
But he's going to laugh all the way to the bank.
I was gonna say, and keep writing them off, man. Keep writing them off. All right, Giants 8.5.
Over.
You're taking the over on the Giants.
I think they win 9 games.
Well, see, that's smart that you took the over on the Giants because you took the under on the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I took the over on the Cowboys. I'll take the under on the Giants. Last one, Minnesota Vikings, 8.5.
Over.
Skull Vikings, let's go. Give me the over. That's a no-brainer, folks. That is a no-brainer. They're winning, probably going to win 11, might be 12 games.
Maybe 13. Count them up.
Count them up.
Count them up.
1. All right. So that is sports talk. We got through the agenda items we had. Do you have anything off the agenda that you want to talk about? Sports talk?
No,
Okay.
not really. I think good conversation. Lots of interesting stuff happening. Right. I'm super excited. I'm fired up for sports this year. You know that.
Yeah, it's a good. Yeah, me too. Same. Everything. Yeah, me too. All right. So that'll be it for sports talk. We're going to transition over to our new segment called Sports Spotlight. This is something that we want to involve you guys in. So we know, again, there's a lot of really good stuff that goes on in the world. It's the world of sports. And it doesn't have to be professional sports, amateur sports, kid sports, anything, right? Whatever it is. So basically what we're going to do is this sports spotlight segment, we're going to open up to you guys. We will take submissions to this. You can find information on where to send any stories that you have. If you have any pictures or videos that you want us to share with those stories, we'd be glad to do so. But this is something we want to open up to you guys as well. So let us know if you see a really cool, just sort of like a feel good or heartwarming story, something really cool in the sports world that you think that we should spotlight and end one of our podcast episodes with. Our goal here, folks, is to just shine the light on some of the amazing things that do happen or do come from sports or happen in sports, because there are so many of them. And I think, just like my pump it last week, I think we should not lose sight of all of the benefits that come from and all the cool things that happen in the sporting world. So with that said, a little bit of an interesting one. I'm not the biggest baseball. I haven't been following baseball as much as I used to. However, there was a really cool story that came out of the MLB world. Folks, if you have, maybe, especially if you're in the Bay Area, and a baseball fan, Sergio Romo was a pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. He started his career there, spent a long time there before kind of bouncing around the league. I think he won 3 World Series. I think he won 3. But anyway, the story here is of his retirement. So anyway, there were just some cool things regarding his retirement that I wanted to share with you guys, because I think this for me is both what you want to see out of an organization and what you want to see out of a person. Like this guy, yeah. Like this is sick. So this sort of summarize here. Sergio Romo is going to retire. He goes back. He's been, like I said, he's been bouncing around in and out of, he's playing professional baseball kind of all over the place, and decides to go back and signs with the Giants. So they sign him. Basically, it's a non-player role contract. So he can pitch one more time for them, for the Giants, right? And so you see this in some other sports, right, where guys will sign like a one-day contract or something like that, just so they can retire as a whatever, right?
Yeah.
So he signs his contract so he can retire as a Giant. And the cool thing, though, was that it wasn't just about retiring a Giant.
Yeah.
Like, he got to pitch again, and it was an exhibition game. Obviously, opening day was recently. So he got to pitch an exhibition game one last time. But there's this there's a bunch of stories. You guys should look this up. But his article in the Players Tribune is awesome. What he wrote is so cool. So there's two things that I want to focus on with this whole story. So hopefully you guys I painted the picture for you. Retiring, goes back to the Giants, the team that drafted him so he can end his career there. Mm-hmm. Turns out they let him pitch one more time. And also they've said that they want him to, I don't know if you saw this, but they said they want to keep him in the organization.
No, I didn't see that part.
Yeah, so he's going to stick around and help out and stuff. But there's a part of this Players Tribune article that he wrote that is like, this is it. Like, this is what it's all about. And I thought it was really cool. So I'm just going to read a portion of this really quickly. But he said, so he says, my baseball career has really been about keeping two promises. The first promise is the one I made to my dad at 11 years old, that I would do well enough in baseball that he could retire. It took 14 years as a pro, but finally in 2018, he called me up and said, Mijo, I filed the papers today. I retired. I broke down crying. I don't think even my dad knew how much that meant to me, or how much that promise had kept me going so many times on my journey. The second promise I made was to the Giants ownership group after they drafted me in 2005. The promise that they didn't waste their pick and I wouldn't let them down. And it's funny because now I'm filing my own retirement papers, and I'm hoping you all feel that I kept my second promise as well. Like I made the most of the opportunity given to me by the Giants. So the whole thing is, the rest of the story is, he, like I said, he was drafted by the Giants. It was kind of a flyer. He was getting basically the doors blown off by all the other pitchers that he was kind of competing against in the minors and stuff like that. He didn't throw hard. And basically what it came down to was it just finally clicked with him. And he had some good coaches working with him on like locating pitches and just being like really nasty at like locating. So anyways, he made it to the bigs and he had a great career and won 3 World Series. And, he was a good pitcher. But this whole thing meant so much to him. And he was on this sort of retirement tour, if you will. And this is the really cool thing or the thing that I found most cool about it is all these kids were like coming up to him and asking for his autograph,
Mm-hmm.
And he had, every time a kid came up to him in this sort of like farewell tour in spring training, every time a kid came up and asked for his autograph, he signed whatever it was for him, and then he asked them for their autograph and on his hat. So he like wore this same hat and he always had it with him. And there's a really cool picture of he literally wore that hat with all these kids' name like on the underside of the bill and inside of the thing. Like all these kids signed his hat, and then that was the hat he wore the last time that he went out and pitched.
Oh, cool.
And so I don't know, like he actually did play for the Twins, or he was with the Twins for a little while, but I don't know, obviously never met the guy. I don't know a ton about him, but you can tell like his baseball journey was more about, like, it meant so much to him. It wasn't just about the baseball side of things. And he was so grateful. And I thought it was so cool that he's like having these kids who are like, oh, let me get your autograph, whatever. He's like, yeah, let me get, like, how cool would that be?
Making them feel important.
Yeah, exactly. Too. Like how cool would that be?
Why does he want my autograph?
Exactly.
So it's
like, you imagine if your kids were at the game and were like baseball fans, and like what that meant to those kids.
Yeah, made their day.
Yeah, and he like wore it the last time he pitched. That's sick. So so anyways, he went out and he didn't pitch for super long, but apparently it was like crazy, like standing O, and like everyone was. It was a big deal. Yeah. So good for him.
Cool. Yeah, it's a super cool story because it's like you said, a lot of these like 1-day contracts, you just sign, it's a paper and then a photo op, but they signed him. He actually pitched in a spring training game. Yep. It was 1 inning. He did not pitch that great.
Not a great outing for him. No,
but he still did it. Got pulled off the mound so that way he could get the curtain call from the fans and that sort of stuff. So it was a super cool moment for for him, and I really like the fact like those promises that he made to his dad and family, and then the organization that gave him an opportunity. I think that a lot of times people get they feel like it's owed to them.
Exactly.
Right. And
entitled.
And it's not. Like you're not owed anything. Like nobody owes you a single thing. And so I think for somebody to think that, like, you guys took an opportunity on me, I'm going to make sure that you guys don't regret that, and that it's going to be mutually beneficial for all of us. And that definitely happened in this case. So super cool.
Isn't that a sick mindset too? Like, I just think there's something about, and I don't know, I see it in professional sports with some athletes, probably more so than you see it in like normal parts of life. But I think that, when these athletes go out and they like very clearly appreciate what they have and like the opportunities given to them and all those things, like that's one of the reasons that I picked this as the sports spotlight this week, is because this is a guy who, like I said, he's by all accounts good pitcher, won 3 World Series, like ended up bouncing around, career's winding down. And in his Player Tribune article, like if you read the whole thing, I mean, like it's literally all about, like he's super humble. It's all about humility, just trying to keep the promises he made to his family, to the organization that took a chance on him. Like that's so awesome. And then I don't know,
easy to root for, like
easy to root for sure.
Easy people to get to root for,
yeah,
and to get behind.
Yeah, for sure. So that's it for the sports spotlight segment this week. And of course, if you guys have any other any ideas for the segment, anything you want us to talk about if we get a bunch of them, we'll just obviously, we'll just pick one and we'll try to get through them. But if you have anything, of course, send it in, and we will choose what we talk about for next episode's sports spotlight.
Absolutely.
So, with that said, folks, hopefully you enjoyed.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That's true. Seriously, we really appreciate you guys spending the time with us. Hopefully we entertained you. Again, that is our mission. We like to, we hope to entertain you, help you pass the time, or give you something to enjoy listening to. So thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to check out our JB Sports YouTube page for all of our YouTube videos, largely golf content. We put some pretty cool golf videos together. We're out there grinding, baby. We are grinding for you guys.
I found my driver. I'm excited. I got a new grip.
Hey, don't spoil anything now.
It. So.
Yeah, Brandon found a little something in the driver.
Yeah, just wait and see. Check out those videos.
Yeah, so check out the JB Sports YouTube page.
Don't judge me by the first hole.
Yeah. Don't turn it off after you see the very first swing of the day.
Yeah,
okay?
First two swings. Yeah, don't keep watching. Please.
Just keep watching. Yeah. All right, JB Sports YouTube page. You can follow us on Instagram at JB Sports Official, and of course wherever you hear or listen to your podcast. So thank you so much for giving us some of your valuable time. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we will catch you all on the next episode. Take care.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.